This is Renee Romeo, and today's review is of a product called Restor A Finish by a company called Howard. Now, they claim that this is a new finish for furniture in a can. So I'm going to go ahead and test it out, and we'll see exactly how it goes. So my very first piece of furniture that I'll test it out on is my daily desk. Now, this desk sees a lot of wear and tear. I've spilled things on it, the cats are on it, it's got a bunch of scratch marks, just a little bit on the surface. So we're going to see how to go about doing this. So let's just go over this desk just slightly here. So now we've got a nice size scratch that we're going to try to cover, and you'll see exactly what that looks like. It's a little deep, so we'll see what happens. And then I have some other issues with the desk as well. So over on this side, I have a worn area, and we'll see how it does with that. And then all along the edge, it's a little bit worn, and see how it performs. You can see just how mottled that desk surface is, so we'll see if we can get that to be a nice even finish in the end. So first things first, I have an apron on to protect my clothing. I have rubber gloves. I have a fine piece of steel wool. I have a nice soft cloth. And I have my can of Restor A Finish. Now you're going to go ahead and shake this and make sure that all of the pigment from the bottom reaches the top. So first of all, I'm going to try the cloth, and I'm just going to go ahead and saturate it a little bit. So I'm going to go over this one spot here. Now let's just go ahead and take it and just see how it does. I'm using currently the mahogany color, and so this is kind of a mahogany cherry. Now, it doesn't really do much because it's down to the bare wood. So I'm going to go ahead and take that piece of steel wool. Now, this is a fine piece of steel wool, and I'm going to go with the grain and just see if this does anything to fill in that spot. But it's still not perfect. Now, let's take the cloth again, and I'm going to go in the direction of the grain. And wow, this is really doing a great job of kind of getting all of those little areas that are scuffed up to be unnoticeable. So this is doing a really great job with just the cloth. Now this is an area that I've spilled water on in the past, and I'm going to try the cloth on this as well. And you'll see it's really doing a great job of covering all that up, and it looks like a nice new finish. But I'll tell you what, I could still see a little bit of this area where the water was, so I'm going to get out the steel wool and see how that does. Here's my steel wool, and I think what this does is just helps to even out that finish underneath and get that product to penetrate a little bit better. And I'm kind of feeling a little bit of resistance underneath my fingers. It feels a little bit gummy, actually, where that area was. So let's just see how this goes. And what you do is, after you do your steel wool, you're just going to wipe it off with a cloth immediately. So now you can still see a little bit of this hazing right here. Now I think that this is going to give it a better base for it to grab onto. So if I try to clean up some of that gumminess first, with the mineral spirits, it should give a nice even surface for it to penetrate through. Okay, now that that's all clean, let's go ahead and use some more Restor A Finish over the top of that. Now it seems to be penetrating a little bit better. At this point, I'm not getting a gummy feeling underneath my cloth at all. Okay, it's a lot better. It's not perfect. It's not like a new finish, but boy, it's a lot better. I mean, and it feels so nice and clean. Really, really it looks good, I think. And here's the real test. So let's go ahead and apply it to this scratch. Wow, you know, I don't even notice it. I catch a little bit of light on the edge of it, but it looks really, really good. So here's a close-up of the area that's worn down to the bare wood. Now, it really didn't do much for that area at all, and that little spot, too, is still pretty visible. You could still detect up close where the scratch marks are, but wow, I mean, from 2 feet away, it looks perfect. It looks new. So does Restor A Finish do what it says it does? Now, on the can, it says, restore it, don't strip it. I would say that if you have issues with your furniture in the actual finish, then this will do a fantastic job of covering all of those little scratches that don't go down to the bare wood. But if you do have areas that go down to the bare wood, this is not going create a new product for you. You really do have to finish it at that point. But I would recommend using this first. It's only a few dollars. It comes in 8 different colors, so depending on whatever color furniture you have, you can get one to match. And really, is this a great product? You know, I would say it is. I keep it around my house, and you see how well it did with the desk. Yes, there are a couple of issues that it didn't cover, but for the most part, if you're standing a couple feet away from a piece of furniture, you won't be able to detect if there were a scratch or anything else like that in the finish itself. And if you saw my Viet review, you'll see I used this on that beautiful sideboard, and you can't tell that there's a giant gouge in it either. So it just depends. I would say try this before you take it somewhere and spend hundreds. A few dollars is all it takes. But make sure you have mineral spirits, make sure you have a nice fine steel wool, and a nice cloth. Those are the 2 things that you're going to need to try to get this product to work to its maximum potential. So I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you try this product out. I'm sure there's something around your home that you can use this on. This is Renee Romeo. Until next time, I'll bring you another great review.